We're on day 2, unfortunately, of a government shutdown. President, vice president, entire team here will continue to work and talk to members to try and come to a resolution and try to encourage Democrats to muster up courage to do the right thing. And I believe there will be a vote taking place tomorrow, and we hope that vote will lead to the government reopening. That's what the president wants to see. That's what we're working in this thing.
Yesterday, Vice President by your side expressed this optimism that he thinks the shutdown this will be a short shutdown. Do you share that optimism as the president? Share that optimism?
I do. I think that's our hope. And that's our expectation. We know, Democrats know, they are doing the wrong thing by shutting the government down. You can see it when they're answering questions. You can hear it in their voice. There is zero good reason for them to vote to shut the government down right now. They are doing it for political reasons. They are doing it because they want to give taxpayer-funded healthcare benefits to illegal aliens, which is something the American people resoundingly rejected ahead of the election last year. That's why they reelected President Trump in a large part. And so Democrats know what the right thing to do is to reopen.
Karoline.
Yeah, sure.
Then gone not strategies that
I'm sorry?
that shit are sessions and precious not just with
that's probably not a question for me to answer. I think that's a question for healthcare professionals and legal experts.
so get her to her hand is in a way that looks for that you they clicks it's all about go it's just the ball yet it's time to say
Let me ask you, do you think that illegal aliens should receive Medicaid benefits? Medicaid benefits that go to the most vulnerable people in our culture. That Medicaid benefits that were designed to help low-income families and Americans in our country. What the Biden administration...
Ma'am, you're kind of old cat.
Is they allowed tens of millions of illegal aliens from all over the world to come into our country, yes, and they paroled them into the system. If you cover immigration, you know well, it was a complete abuse of our immigration system, and they slapped a Band-Aid on these illegals. They called it temporary protected status, and then they allowed those illegals from all over the world to get free benefits. And you know who would like free benefits? The hardworking Americans who work their butts off every day, who are living paycheck to paycheck because of the Biden-induced inflation crisis. And there were higher wait times at hospitals under the Biden administration. We saw these illegals committing crimes all over our country, and they're getting things for free. That is fundamentally unfair, and this administration is done like
should yours if the person that's in the state would be toward it there will ask me to go to the
Gabe, I don't speak for emergency rooms across the country. I speak for the President of the United States, and that's what can't pushes on this website.
Caroline, that's it.
There is this long restriction that is like this White House.
really great job for us to see it.
Look, you passed
Step to your left if you can.
you can over authorized provisions shared, and they acknowledged it. We haven't wanted to negotiate. We just want to keep the government open. That's been the Republican and the Trump White House position since the very beginning. We wanted to pass a clean, contiguous resolution. We still do, to keep the government open, and then we can negotiate on all of these policy matters. It's the Democrats who injected partisan politics into keeping the government in the business of the American people. This is when Darren the women writers can see the context in 2 days in the letter can negotiate. Why is no people put something out? Democrats have voted for the clean continuing resolution that Republicans introduced 13 times in the past. 13 times. They voted for it as recently as March. And now all of a sudden, they are shutting the government down, and they are holding our country hostage over a partisan political matter that the vast majority of the country disagrees with. And they know it's so unpopular that they're now running away from it. I saw some senators on television this morning saying, you don't want to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. Yes, you do. Roll the tape. You can see time and time again, Democrats have supported that. They've voted for it, and they didn't under Joe Biden. And we stopped it. The president stopped it with the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill. And now they want to undo the president's very popular policy to ensure that taxpayer-funded health care benefits only go to tax-paying, law-abiding American citizens.
Is the president
But it's likely going to be in the thousands. It's a very big question, and that's something that the Office of Management and Budget and the entire team at the White House here, again, is unfortunately having to work on today. these discussions and these conversations, these meetings would not be happening if the Democrats had voted to keep the government. Is that why everyone's like, Steve, go ahead. Look, I'll let the president speak on that. As you know, he has made it very clear he wants this to end. But he has also said if both sides aren't serious about ending the war, the United States of America will continue to sell weapons to NATO. If NATO use those weapons, however they want, it won't respect to Ukraine. Well, here, like with presidents, to talk about Greece, the Democrat, which is he's the threatening and sweet times. He what agencies on the TV that Congress. Those conversations are taking place today. I will prejudge them. I won't get ahead of them. You don't need to actually be there right now. These are Democrat. Look, we're going to look at agencies that don't align with the administration's values that we feel are a waste of the taxpayer dollar. And look, unfortunately, these conversations are happening because we don't have any money coming into the federal government right now. And so the president wants to be a good steward of the American taxpayer dollar during a time when our balance sheet is looking very grim because the Democrats chose to shut the government down.
Iris thinking, find out some value with this, what degree, and clarify this right class, I've run at support at versus skill society. What's the
I think that's a termination for policy being today. But this letter went out to multiple universities, as you know, and it's really a sign of encouragement for them to work alongside the administration to do what's right in in terms of ensuring free speech, in terms of preventing some of the anti-Semitic and illegal behavior that we saw rapidly in our college campuses last year.
Caroline.
Steve, I heard you had another foreign policy question. Yes, so the president made it very clear he wants to hear back from them very soon. I will leave it to the president, Secretary of State, to speak on that. But we expect and we hope that Hamas will accept the plan that was proposed by Special Envoy Whitcott. It's a good plan, and as you know, it's been applauded by leaders all over the world. Is the one.